you believe in global warming, climate change? Do you think the world's going to change for the worse because it's getting warmer?
I think that there'll be little change here. It'll go up, it'll get a little cooler, it'll get a little warmer like it always has for millions of years. It'll get cooler, it'll get warmer. It's called weather.
That was President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, that guy. Giving his stance on climate change in 2016. It's now 2017, and unfortunately, not much has changed. Climate change is still one of the biggest issues that's facing this globe, and unfortunately, nothing is really being done about it. There hasn't been any major legislation passed, and in fact, things are only getting worse.
But somehow or another, when it comes to the issue of climate change, at best what we're seeing Republicans do, many Republicans, most Republicans, is ignore the issue or claim that they're not scientists, or at worst attack those scientists who are doing the research.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord Thank you.
So much worse, in fact, that Al Gore even made a second movie about it.
The most criticized scene in the movie An Inconvenient Truth was showing that the combination of sea level rise and storm surge would flood the 9/11 memorial site. And people said, what a terrible exaggeration.
Hurricane Sandy slammed into New York City last night, flooding the World Trade Center site.
So what does this mean for Boston, Massachusetts? The quote-unquote city on the hill that actually founded modern-day democracy. This city as well has more historical value and landmarks than just about any other city in the nation, making it a total devastation if any of these were to flood. So, is Boston ready? Is Boston ready for the next big storm?
But this latest push is nothing new for the hub. Massachusetts has been working to become climate ready for more than a decade, and this morning we're giving you a closer look at just what that means.
That was Boston then. This is Boston now. Imagine what Boston would look like in 30 years.
If we had a large storm in 2050, then this would actually be an island a little bit here.
That's Austin Blackman. He's the chief of environment for the city of Boston.
Where we would be right now would actually be, we would be probably closer to waist, between our waist and our shoulders in terms of where water would be.
He's talking about the potential impact of sea level rise to Christopher Columbus Park in the North End. One of 5 waterfront neighborhoods under the threat of coastal flooding, major storms, and extreme heat.
A number of 90-degree days over the last several years. You can see, of course, last year we really peaked out. We knew it was going to be a big year.
6 months ago, Blackman's office, in partnership with the Green Ribbon Commission, released a 400-page report. Climate Ready Boston details the consequences of the changing climate and what they found could be catastrophic, reminiscent of the destruction left behind by Superstorm Sandy in New York and New Jersey.
If something like that would happen in Boston, that wipes out potentially our North End, that wipes out our downtown crossing, that wipes out our financial district.
A team of researchers mapped out what's at risk. Climate scientist at UMass Lowell, Matthew Barlow.
There's just a level of flooding that happens with the storm surge and the wave activity that's higher than Boston's low-lying ground.
Shaded in gray is Boston's landmass nearly 400 years ago. Outlined in yellow is the shoreline today. The outlook indicates sea levels will rise 1.5 feet in the next 3 decades, 3 feet higher by the turn of the century. And in the event of a major storm, up to 6 feet of water can rush into the city, and $20 billion worth of real estate and the homes of at least 16,000 people could end up inundated. Blackman says the city is now taking the data and putting engineers to work.
By coming up with these conceptual designs for flood protections, whether it's in East Boston, in Charlestown, in South Boston, to give us an understanding of what the cost would be and how feasible they would be.
The city is training residents to understand this information and share it in neighborhood sessions.
So while it may seem that there's a lot of attention on this subject, there's always more that can be done. Whether that's calling your local congressman or a woman to enact change, or simply reducing your own carbon footprint at home. There's always more to be done, and it always impacts the future, whether that's for us or the next generation.